My parents forced me to live my entire life in total silence because they said our house was haunted by a sound-sensitive spirit, but 20 years later I found out the ghost was just a lie to hide a dark family secret. My father was a sound engineer who obsessed over silence, so he installed decibel meters in every room of our house if we made a noise louder than a whisper. A red light would flash and we would be locked in the basement for 24 hours. I grew up communicating in sign language and walking on my tiptoes because the fear of the red light was etched into my soul. I never heard my mother's real voice, and I never knew what music sounded like until I turned 18 and decided to investigate why the basement was the only room without a meter. One night while my parents were asleep, I picked the lock to my father's private office and found a hidden vault filled with high-tech recording equipment and hundreds of tapes labeled with my name. I played one and heard my own voice as a toddler screaming in terror, followed by my father's cold voice saying the frequency was perfect for his experiments. That is when I realized there was no ghost. My father was using the silence to record my psychological reactions for a government research project. They had sacrificed my childhood just to sell data to the highest bidder. When I confronted them, my mother tried to sign for me to be quiet, but I finally let out a scream that shattered the silence of 20 years and triggered every alarm in the house. I called the police and showed them the tapes, and the look of pure terror on my father's face when he realized his perfect silence was over was the most satisfying sound I had ever heard. They were arrested for child abuse and illegal human experimentation, and my brother, who had been sent away years ago, finally reached out to tell me he was also a victim of their twisted games. Now I live in a house filled with music and laughter, and I never have to whisper again because I finally own my own voice. Subscribe to Reddit Revelations.